5, 4, 3, 2. We're here today on another episode of the Mobile Mailbox Money Podcast. We're here with Ellis Tran of PadSplit in Arizona. Ellis, if you could just introduce yourself for the viewers that don't know you.
Yes. Name's Ellis Tran. I'm a senior account executive for PadSplit. I launched the Arizona market just over 2 years ago here, and I've helped over 100 investors get their PadSplits started on our platform. So I'm looking for more investors and helping people cash flow on their single family properties.
PadSplit.
Yes.
What is PadSplit? What's the edge to an investor that may be watching here today out in the market? You know, there's a whole lot of different avenues someone could choose for a single family property. And I think people are looking for alternatives.
Yeah.
It's super in need right now. So what's the edge with PadSplit?
Yeah. We are very much like Airbnb in that we're a tech platform. But we specialize solely in room rentals.
Single room rental.
Single room rentals in a single family property. But we're actually starting to see some interest in the multifamily space, and we can get into that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're in a
Dynamic.
very dynamic. We're in the affordable housing space, and it's a real need because
Absolutely.
these rooms are priced very competitively compared to the studios or one bedrooms out there. And they're nice usually. So it's a very high value proposition for the renters.
No, love to hear that. I think, even just in the niche of affordable housing, it's a state of emergency.
Yeah.
They say right now to be presenting alternative solutions to the need out in the market, is not so much being pivoted on enough. I think everyone's looking, more in the traditional sense of build to rent and facilitating multifamily build outs. But, by the time they go do that with labor and material, does that even equate to a solution?
You got it.
At the end of the day, when there's an actual solution, getting creative about the available square footage of a property and facilitating a lower rental fee, down to basic amenities for an end user.
Yes.
What's your take on how that's developed over the last couple years? How long has PadSplit been around? Have you guys grown in that aspect? A lot of politicians are talking about affordable housing. I would think that it's kind of taken off right now. What's your opinion?
Yeah, you've done your research. That's great. Yeah, we've been around since 2018. We have 17,000 bedrooms live on the platform right now across 20 different cities.
Are those active renters or they're available?
Available out of those 17,000, 90% of them are occupied.
90%. That's pretty good.
The numbers are great.
There's a demand.
There's a huge,
in other words.
Yes. The demand's driven from not, people wanting to do this, but because they have to, because they can't afford it.
Sure. They're living in an area that they would otherwise not be able to afford.
Yes.
They're either making the hour transit, living outside of a market where they need to be at to facilitate the availability of them to even have housing.
Exactly. Yeah. And our model works because, like you said, we're taking the existing housing stock out there. Very much like the Airbnb model, but instead of earmarking it for vacationers, we take that same property. We advise the investor on how to convert the common areas to more rooms, to densify that same single family property, and then to very quickly put housing stock online out to the public.
What's the comparison of an individual, say in the Arizona market, Mesa, Tempe, Glendale, of a property that they have currently, and they're facing challenge on conventional rental strategies? What's kind of the pro and con, or what's the common ROI boost?
In my property in East Mesa, it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5. I could probably get $2,400 a month on it if I rented it just to one tenant long term,
which is an average rent here in the valley.
But my property doesn't qualify because it's in an HOA, and we don't like properties in HOAs.
Creates a challenge.
It does, to say the least. But my property is about 2,100 square feet. I can probably get 8 bedrooms out of that.
Conversion. What is the average conversion? What does it cost, to put another 2 bedrooms in there?
It's a 3. I would say probably somewhere around $6-7K per bedroom. depending on the extent of the work, because if you need an extra window popped in, that'll cost a little bit more.
Right.
If you extend the vent, it'll cost a little bit more. But if it's a simple one, probably around 5-6 grand, somewhere around that.
Is there any modulars stuff that you guys have implemented?
We have one investor with the PadSplit in Mesa, and he, I guess, develops these, what are those called? Shipping containers.
Okay.
So he's got one in his yard and it's a PadSplit.
He brought in an ADU
Yes.
in the back.
Yeah.
How many bedrooms did he do?
Just one. Just one. But he's planning to put a couple of these in his yard. So he's going to create this little PadSplit shipping container compound there.
Well, is there a restriction on how? I wonder if there's just, how many you can do in your backyard here in the Phoenix market.
Yeah, there's probably a restriction, but I know that the city of Phoenix, they're encouraging you or investors, homeowners, to build ADUs because of the affordability issue.
Right. That's a lot of foot traffic for one single property. Doing those ADUs, it may be more accurate to do, within a residential property. That's awesome to see. A couple dynamic options, out in the market to additionally capitalize on the hardship of cash flow right now.
Yeah.
The cash flow of an investment property is harder than ever, with DSCR loans being at like 8-9%, stuff like that. And does it even cash flow? We've seen appreciation of properties hit all-time highs over the past 5 years, which creates that higher payment at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think this could, provide someone watching a solution, out in the market, opposed to just selling the property.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's people hurting, I think, because of Airbnb. Ever since the Super Bowl, I think a lot of people had the idea to do Airbnb, and the market became oversaturated. I think there's like 5 on my same street right now.
Yeah.
But to offer that dynamics of a lower available midterm rental, right, is kind of more of what you guys are targeting.
Yeah.
With the affordability, of a shared common area and stuff like that. That's super interesting to see unfold. I've met Ellis at ASREA, Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. You got to get out to these associations and meet people out there. So happy to have met you at ASREA. Have you attended any other conferences or national, events that are worthy of conversation? Yeah, people need to check it out.
Sure. Yeah, we've been to IMN a few times. We sponsored BP Con recently, Bigger Pockets Con.
Which one? The one in Cancun?
One in Cancun. Oh, it was a little bit of a bust though because our marketing materials got stuck in customs.
Oh, really?
So we didn't have anything that.
International travel is kind of a challenge at it.
Yeah. But that's just me. But I mean, we have equivalents of me in the different markets. They go to different conferences throughout the nation. So we're always out there trying to get the word out.
Yeah, no, that's important. You can only touch so many people in your local market at the end of the day. How many other markets are you guys in the nation?
20
with
17,000 rooms. Yeah. So from west to east, I'll go through the list if I can remember them all. We just launched in Los Angeles. We're in Vegas. They have about 900 rooms, almost 1,000. Arizona's got about 1,000. In Texas, we're in San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Houston, probably 2,500 rooms there. New Orleans, Atlanta, our flagship market, 7,000 rooms. All the major cities in Florida, about 4,000, 5,000 rooms there.
So you're scaling at this point.
We're scaling.
What keeps y'all from going to the other markets? Is it really just a matter of time at this?
It's a matter of time, yeah. We just launched Los Angeles and Denver recently. West Coast is a little bit tricky because they're very tenant friendly. And so it's a co-living model. If you have one bad tenant or resident, they can really sour the experience of the other people living there.
Yeah.
That might get them to move out and that'll hurt your business. So
how do you mitigate that? There's 8 people in a home.
Yeah.
There is some challenge of not personality difference and things of that nature. Is there any mitigation on that?
Definitely. Yeah, you mentioned foot traffic, high foot traffic in the beginning. The first step is to get the right property in the right neighborhood. So if you have a smaller property, you don't want to jam as many rooms as you can in there, even though in theory the cash flow will be a little bit higher.
There's ulterior problems that come with
Yes, you want to find the magic balance between the number of rooms and the member experience is what we call it. So having
Is that highly location contingent, or is it really just square footage?
all of that. Location contingent, square footage, proximity to bus stops, proximity to work centers, number of parking spots in the property or the neighborhood. And then in the property itself, number of bathrooms is a big one, as you can imagine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Number of bathrooms, whether or not you have mini fridges in the rooms themselves, number of washer and dryers, and then just the types of amenities that are in the rooms. Having a desk and a chair works well. Having full-length mirrors work well. So part of my job is to advise the investor, the host, on how to furnish the property to help make it a competitive product to reduce conflict.
So, if someone called you and was like, hey, you would ultimately tell them if it's a good solution or not. Because not every property is going to work
Exactly.
as of the program. Is that the path of least resistance? Like, hey, Ellis, here's the address and stuff like that. Or is there a online spot that you could like upload your address and maybe you could auto calculate or?
Talk to me. Yeah, so your friend Austin, for example, he's got some properties. He'll text me the address. I'll take a look at the listing firstly. I'll look at the bedroom bathroom count, the square footage, give him a decent idea of how many rooms can be added to it. From there, I'll pop it into Google Maps, look at how close it is to public transit, look at the parking situation. From there, I'll look into our data, which we're actually very transparent with, and give him an idea of how that zip code is performing. And then from there, give him a rough top gross revenue projection.
What are y'all seeing as the demand in the local Arizona market? Sounds like you gained exposure to the national markets,
Yes.
maybe more intimately than others.
Sure.
Being in the forefront of the need of affordable housing. What's kind of your take on maybe the insulated market of Arizona? How has that progressed in the demand over the last couple of years? What would you have to say about here in the Valley?
Yeah, I've done a couple of Google searches. I've seen two numbers. I Google Phoenix affordable housing unit shortage. I've seen 67,000 or 259,000.
They're short
that are short.
for the demand to level
Yes.
in the market.
Exactly. And in either case, it's a very high number. In the 2 years since we've launched, we now have 900 bedrooms. 92% of them are occupied. Out of the 900 rooms, 800 or so have been online for 90 days or more. We call those mature units.
Yeah.
And the mature occupancy is 95%. So investors are happy, renters are happy. The cities should be happy because there's zero tax dollars being spent on housing currently,
Right.
upwards of 800 people. And as a company, we've housed over 40,000 people. So
What's the average room rental here in the Valley? Average rent from the Azria analytics is like $1,800 to $2,200 a month.
yeah.
For a property. What is that? How does that convey?
Yeah, a room goes, keep in mind, this is blended between rooms with shared bathrooms and rooms with private bathrooms. Right now, the average is 900.
900 for shared amenities.
Shared amenities, yep. And that includes the rent, the furniture in the bedrooms, in the property itself, Wi-Fi, utilities, cleaning of the common areas once a month. And then from the initial application phase, there's no deposit and no credit check either.
And what would that house cost to implement 4 bedrooms at $900 a month?
Yeah.
Is that $400,000? Is that a $300,000 house at 9%?
Yeah. So I'm actually actively looking for one myself. The first one, I'm going to be partnering with one of my hosts. He buys right off the MLS. So he's looking for properties around the $400,000 range.
Which is an average residential purchase price right now here in the Valley across this alley.
Exactly. In terms of square footage, at least 2,000. The goal is to get 8 bedrooms in that property. So you get the property, $80K down, maybe 40, 50 in renovation. So you're all in 120, 130. At 8 bedrooms at full occupancy, you can gross, $7,200 a month. And you're netting around $2,500 a month on that property.
So there's the numbers right there. That was the juice right there.
Numbers, yeah.
That's it. Here in the Arizona market, that's awesome to see. there's importance and some golden nuggets to be taken away from today, I think. Ellis, where can people contact you if they're looking to gain information, pick your ear, or where are you going to be at, here in the next couple of weeks? Any events you guys are doing? Be great to let people know.
Yeah. Get in touch. Email me, ellis@padsplit.com, ELLIS. I have a Facebook group, PadSplit Phoenix. A lot of good host knowledge sharing happens there. In terms of events, what do we have? Next week is the big ASRIA event, the monthly one.
It's second Monday of the month, every month.
I think this one's on a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll have to date the shout out last time.
But I have an ASRIA subgroup for PadSplit. That'll be on the 27th on Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. So Google ASRIA calendar, you'll find the information.
Is that every month, or that's a special one you guys are doing? So every month on the 27th?
Fourth Thursday of every month.
Fourth Thursday of every month. If y'all don't know, ASRIA is one of the largest real estate investment associations in the nation. Great to rub shoulders with individuals out operating in the market. You get market creative solutions from attending these different subgroups and things of that nature, because that's really important to cultivate. If you're sitting here watching, need an actionable step. Why is that important, Ellis?
I mean, I agree. I'm new to real estate, and I'm learning through PadSplit, and having joined ASRIA has been a really great resource for a beginner like me. So
no, absolutely. People do business with the individuals they know, like, and trust.
It's all relationship based.
It's all in the relationships, people. I'm happy to have Ellis here on the channel today. There's some adjacents in what we have to offer, cultivating the affordable housing market. There's more than enough game here in the Valley, and more than enough need going on, helping provide a solution to the crisis. Pretty feel-good investment strategy.
Exactly. If you're into the social entrepreneurship side of things, you make your money and you're helping people who need housing, which is a real basic need.
That's the super win in this conversation. If you're looking for a strategy, to feel good and ultimately make a difference in your local market, that's ultimately what's being cultivated here. Happy to have you on the channel here today, Ellis.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, bam, bam, bam.